Hello, welcome, and welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey. So, it's April. These messages really are, kind of whenever you see them, but I do tend to do them at least monthly. So this month we're using the Work Your Light Oracle deck, and then we're using the Wandering Moon Tarot for additional information. We'll get an oracle card for the overall vibe, and then of course pull 6 tarot cards and see what the vibe is. I have my little bowl here of all of the zodiac, all of the human design profile numbers. I'm just gonna pick one. Let's see. 3, 6. Let's do it. I think I saw like a graphic. Actually, I'm pretty sure that graphic is okay. So okay. If this is how the reading is going to go, this is going to be fun. You're probably like, yeah, bye. So, oh my gosh, I keep hearing in my head, as soon as I sat down at this table, like what I do is I sit down here, I shuffle the decks, like a bunch of times, just get everybody warmed up, right? I kind of get myself grounded, centered, and all of that. And any like sensations that I start feeling, like I start taking note of. And, I'm using my little bowl, so it's not like I know really like who I'm going to be doing the reading for next. But as soon as I sat down and started shuffling these cards, Bob Marley popped into my head, that song, Every Little Thing is Gonna Be All Right. But it's like that Bob Marley song is like literally blaring in my head. So whatever is going on, my dog agrees. It's gonna be okay. So now that is out of the way, if you've seen any of these human design readings that I've done before, I usually have some sort of like content to provide a perspective on your profile. And, it's usually just like a paragraph or so. And I usually read it, like what at the beginning of these readings. But this time I found an article on the Jovian Archive website, which I believe is tied to the International School of Human Design. But there's an article on there about the 12 profiles written by a 2/5 projector, which I think is kind of cool. So I'm going to link that in the description below. And I believe what, if I remember, because I obviously, like, I haven't looked at the website in like a week or so. But what she does is, and oh my gosh, this this is such a mess. I'm so sorry. I'm so tempted to just start this whole thing over, but I'm not, because this is real life, people. And I think it's like my like Virgo moon wants it to be like perfect. But anyway, it's like one paragraph on each profile line. So of course you would want to find the 3 and of course the 6. The third line is the martyr, 6th line is the role model. And I believe that at the beginning, what I was going to say is, I think your profile might be the rarest profile. I thought the rarest profile was the 4-1, But no, I think it's your profile and maybe the 6-3 that are more rare than the 4-1. So anyway, I don't know. Let's move on. If you're still here, thank you. Was that? Yeah, I thought so. We just need one card. And we only take the card that falls out. We don't take any cards that flip. I can't even tell you how many times I've had people like either comment or message me that I'm doing it wrong because I don't take the cards that flip. And I'm like, who's the one that's shuffling the cards? And also, I have a deal with all of my decks. Literally, when I get a new deck, we powwow. And we come to an agreement that we only take the cards that fall out for clarity's sake. So anyway, we have Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Wow. Let's get the rest of your cards out, and then of course we'll talk about that one. I believe that Pleiades is like one of the starseed constellations. If you're into starseeds, I mean, you might even want to look into Pleiades. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. We have the 4 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. Interesting. We have the Death card. The 5 of Moons. How interesting is this? We have 4, 5, 6. That is so cool. I'm not even entirely sure if that's ever happened before. Speaking of rare, and really like the odds of that happening, we should all go buy a scratcher. I am not condoning gambling. I'm just saying the odds of that. We have the King of Pentacles. One more. And the Tower. Interesting. And the 6 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. 2 of Cups. 9 of Cups. 3. Interesting. Okay. I definitely want to read out of the book on this Pleiades card. Again, I'm probably pronouncing this so wrong. A few years ago, I was looking into starseed because it was just like, it was a new term that, you know, I heard. And anyway, so that's what I was saying. Like, you might be interested. There might be something of interest in that for you. But this card says the Pleiadians are a group of star beings dedicated to raising the vibration of the planet and sharing new consciousness through creations and technology. They have been incarnating on Earth since near the beginning of humanity. You are a soul who has a double mission: to grow at a soul level and to raise the vibration of the planet. If you have been called to write, speak, or channel, this is your sign to keep doing it. Your work is divinely guided. of all of the souls, Pleiadians are the chattiest. And so perhaps you have already started channeling some of this work into the third dimension. Thank you for doing your part in the great plan. Your presence and unique light is needed. And it says, work your light transmission. Hold the card at your heart, which I know you can't do, but you can put your hands there if you want to. And either repeat after me or just kind of say it in your head. I call upon Pleiadian consciousness of the highest realms and the highest good of humanity to work through me. Let me be a channel for only the purest light of the essence of Source. Let me channel in a way that also serves me. It's so interesting because this is where, like, when I meditate, this is where, like, in this outer space, like, this is where I always imagine myself in outer space. Not necessarily looking exactly like that, but like, it just caught my attention because these people, their human form, are hovering above Earth. And there's also these rays of light here, like pillars of light. I mean, that could be some sort of portal too. We have a lot of water on the table also. So you could be going through some sort of like spiritual awakening or some level of like intuitive or psychic ability could be awakening within you too. I mean, you could have been even spending some time channeling information, and maybe you're doing the channeled writing, or even like drawing is coming to mind, like doodling or something along those lines. I feel like that's very, like compatible, maybe is the word, with your profile, because the third line is about trial and error, making and breaking bonds, like you got to try stuff to see what works. And the sixth line, the first 30 years, is a third line. So the first 30 years of your life, you are a 3-3, which can be a bit chaotic, overwhelming, dismantling, and then you go on the roof to a certain extent with the third line on the conscious side. And then after 50, you come off of the roof, and that's when you share or like universalize your lessons, your observations. So it almost just kind of seems like this like double confirmation. It'd be like, interesting if you haven't done so already to look a little further into your incarnation cross. Maybe you have a lot of collective or tribal gates or channels in your chart. So we start with the Four of Cups here. It's so interesting how we can like literally see this progression that it's like available to you. I mean, of course, this could be an energy that you are currently working yourself through, or this is a message to let you know that the energy is available for you to move through this energy. So the Four of Cups is about inaction. Cups have to do with our emotions, the heart center, right? Like how we feel about things, the things that we love. What are we pouring our love into? And it does not have to be romantic love, of course. But, just the things that make us feel good and that we enjoy doing, and maybe, like fill our cup too. But with the Four of Cups, like I said, it's inaction. There's a bit of like boredom, maybe lethargy. But in the traditional depiction, there's a figure sitting under a tree with 3 cups around them. And then there's a 4th cup coming out of like literal thin air that's being offered to them. But the figure isn't even, they're so focused on the 3 cups that they don't even see the 1 cup, literally, like I said, coming out of thin air. So it's interesting because, again, right, I mean, like the 3 of Cups is about like support from others. There's a celebration aspect to it. It's, really kind of like a feel-good card. So it's interesting when we move to the 4 of Cups, it's like, are you not feeling supported by others, or are you not feeling supported in a way that you feel like recognized, or is it just like whatever is in those 3 cups are just, it's not bringing the level of fulfillment that you thought it was going to? But again, right, with the 4 of Cups, there is a 4th cup. And even in this depiction, there's 3 moons, and they're holding on to 1 moon there. So that to me feels like holding on to something, even if it's to your own detriment. Like there's these 3 other moons around there, yet, like, are you trying those things, or kind of planting your feet on the 1? There's a lot of static around this card too. And it like gets less, there's less in the 5 of Cups, and there's even less in the 6 of Cups. So maybe it's like you're not even clear on your feelings. And, of course, since we're talking human design, this would have more to do with like your strategy and authority. I mean, you may or may not have a defined emotional solar plexus. That doesn't mean that you don't have feelings. But if it was defined or undefined, it would make a difference. But also it would depend on what your strategy and authority is, because your strategy and authority is going to help you enter into the quote unquote correct experiences for you, whether it makes sense or not. And your profile is how you interact with the energy of those experiences or the people involved in those experiences. So, it goes hand in hand. And if we're kind of stuck in a place of inaction, then generally there's either no recognition, nothing to initiate, nothing to respond to. Who am I missing? Reflector that has that lunar cycle as far as like making bigger decisions. But they also, have a tendency to mirror the energies around them too. So, right, like, that could be the 4 of Cups. And then we move to the 5 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups is all about grieving. 5s are transitionary energies. They're nothing to, pitch a tent and get stuck in. But you are moving from one energy to another, and you have to move through it, obviously, through the 5. And the 5, interestingly enough, on the traditional tarot, there's 3 cups that have been turned over, and now there's 2 cups still left to be explored. So the message generally with the 5 of Cups is, if you're focusing on the 3 cups that didn't work out or didn't bring you the level of fulfillment that you thought, then again, right, it's like you're missing that, like all is not lost. There are still options to be explored. However, going through that grieving process is very much part of moving on. And there's nothing wrong with like grieving truly, right? I mean, like truly grieving something that maybe you did have such a handle on, and we're holding so tightly because you wanted it to work so much. And, you know, I mean, with it being moons, again, right? I mean, it's going to depend on your situation. I mean, this could literally be anywhere in your life. There's so much blue in this card, and blue is throat chakra. Again, you know what I mean, it would depend on, you know, if your throat chakra is defined or not. But, you know, it could be like how you're communicating your feelings or lack of communicating feelings. That just came to mind because it just like all of a sudden caught my eye how much blue is in that card. And also the difference, because in this card, you know, their hand is open and it's like these moons are just slipping between their fingers. But they've released that one moon, right? Like it's almost kind of like this feeling of letting the pieces fall where they may. And like releasing literal control on something. Like if you have been trying to hold on so tight, it could even just be like a pattern of behavior, a certain way of feeling about a situation. You could be denying something like within yourself, you know, like some truth that you recognize within yourself, and for some reason there's like this denial that comes with it. Because then we have the Six of Cups, and the Six of Cups is the card of the past. And of course, right, I mean, the past can literally be 10 minutes ago. It could be a week ago. It could be a year ago, 10 years ago, literal childhood, right? So, but they are things that we have already moved through. And the Six of Cups is, you know, like it's the card of nostalgia. And when we think of nostalgia, it's like, you know, we think of like the good old days. I mean, of course, you know, it could be inner child, especially like with the Five of Cups here. We, like I said, we go from the 4, the 5, the 6. So there's clearly an energy that you're moving through here. And it can have to do with inner child. Because there could be, you know, like something from when you were a kid that just by growing up, you know, like maybe you shared those experiences with people and they, I want to say like shamed you into silence about it. And for whatever reason, like it's coming up again, like resurfacing, and there's like this opportunity to heal it. But, and especially with like the Six of Cups and the King of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles has this energy of stability, comfort. You know, kings are the highest expression of the suit. Pentacles have to do with our money, our time, our physical body. Kings are also, you know, leaders and authorities. So there's generally people that look up to them. This would be that, you know, role model. So, I mean, this could be returning to a place of stability, or there's something to revisit from the past that can bring you this level of stability and success. And then we have this combo over here with the Death card and the Tower. The Death card is the end of a cycle. It's Scorpio, so it's also water. And it's also interesting that, you know, like the skull is looking at the Six of Moons and, you know, the Four of Moons. And, you know, the left side of the card is the past. The right side of the card is the future. So, you know, I mean, this skull is looking at the past. And to me, that would be saying that there is something from the past. And again, you know, I mean, it could be an emotional like pattern of behavior or pattern of thinking, or like, you know, if you feel a certain way about a thing, like a specific thing, and it could even be this specific thing. I mean, it could just be believing that you have the capacity, the ability, the skill, like to be the King of Pentacles and have stability in your life, provide yourself with stability. If you have a family, like provide your family with stability. But the Death card is saying that one cycle has to end in order for a new one to begin. I always say, whenever the Death card comes out, I always say that new beginnings disguise themselves as endings. Because truly, like, it's like that whole, like when one door closes, another opens. Like immediately, boom, boom, right? Like, it's that butterfly effect, I guess, And with it paired with the tower, I don't know why I'm like, I was doing so well with words there for a while, and I kept wanting to say towel. So I don't know, that's weird. But the Tower card is sudden changes, sudden upheaval. It's Mars, and Mars is in Cancer right now, so you might want to check out where Cancer is in your chart, but also you might want to take a look at the unconscious or the design Mars, which is on like the red side. Just take a look at what that gate is, read a little bit about that, because that tends to have wounding, like our internal wound, a little bit like Chiron, but different. So definitely check that out. But the Tower is only going to take out what is no longer serving you. It could be closing timelines, which is what, like this Death card is. And usually, like my understanding or like how I view closing timelines is closure without closure. It's literally accepting a situation for what it is and not needing anything else from it. Like not giving it any more energy, not accepting energy from it. There's that saying that the hardest apology is the one you never get. True. So, it's like there's kind of these like open-ended situations in our lives that like never quite got closure. We just maybe upped and left it, even if it was just like on an energetic level. And again, right, like when the Tower comes in, it could be closing out those things, and it could be a bit uncomfortable to be transitioning through those energies. But again, right, I mean, like whatever the Tower is, it's only going to take out what is no longer serving. I mean, it could be a relationship, it could be a job. Again, it could be a thought pattern, behavior pattern. And also with it being paired with a Death card, it could be that this, if you've been in a Tower moment or have felt like you've been in a Tower moment working through this energy, then the Death card is saying that that would be coming to an end. Like you're wrapping things up on this whole process now. And like I said, at the beginning, there could be some sort of like spiritual awakening. You would have been going through like a dark night of the soul. Like that takes a lot of energy, a lot of emotional energy to go through. We have the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. And the Six of Pentacles is about give and take. There's a reciprocity energy to it. There's a bit of karma like mixed in there too, because it's, the energy that you give out, you get back. It could be charity. There could be a grant. There could be, like an investment in some degree, whether you're the one making the investment or somebody is investing in you, because there is also like a charity aspect to it. But, like charity in the sense of recognizing like you have materials or resources that can help other people. I mean, it could be volunteering. And then we have the Two of Cups. And it's like whatever this Six of Pentacles is, it sets you up to like meet a person that has like shared values. The Two of Cups, again, we have more cups. So the Two of Cups can definitely be relationship if you're looking for something like that. But it's more too about like meeting somebody, like I said, that has shared values. You show up with your Ace of Cups, they show up with their Ace of Cups. And again, there's even this kind of cyclical, reciprocal energy going on here that the Six of Pentacles talks about. Pentacles is more monetary or tangible, you know, like things that have value, things that you can touch, and Cups having to do with our emotions. So it's interesting that these two cards both have that in common, where there's like an equal give and take. And it could be like, you know, the book was saying about sharing your writing or speaking or art, or, you know, I mean, like something out there that could be what this is. And it's like, you know, it reaches the quote unquote like right people. You know, it's like the people that get it, the people that needed to hear the message or see the art or whatever, you know, like they will see it. And then we have the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. It's so crazy how many like water cards we have out here. Maybe you have a lot of water in your chart too, like your astrology chart. But like I said, this is wish fulfillment. This is individual fulfillment. There's 9 shooting stars on here. And, you know, like we're taught to make a wish on a shooting star. So, I mean, it's like there could be multiple areas of your life that are just kind of like falling into place. And like I said before, like with this Five of Cups, it's like allowing things to like releasing control and allowing things to fall where they may. This is where they may. We have the Three of Wands, which is fire. This is, you know, like taking steps, taking actionable steps towards your passion, towards your creativity. It's communicating. We talked about that. It's communicating your creativity and your passions. This is also a card of information, because that's what we pick up as we try things, right? I mean, like you get that as a third line, you know, like you figure out what works and what doesn't work by trying things. That's the Three of Wands. And then we have the Sun card, which is, I get like very close to the Nine of Cups, but it's, you know, like the happiest card in the deck. And it's almost kind of like you've had to really, I want to say like fight for it, because this is like a brick wall that there's a hole in, right? And it's like you would have had to like bust down this portion of the brick wall to find the sun. So that could be something that like you're looking for, even like within yourself through this whole journey. We have the Lovers card, the Star card, the Hierophant. The Lovers, again, you know, I mean, that could be romantic relationship. It doesn't have to be. It's just, again, like finding like-minded people, because Lovers is related to Gemini. Gemini is air. Air is all about our mind. There's also a commitment level to this. So this could even be, you know, like making a commitment to the journey. The Star card, trusting the process, again with air, because this is Aquarius. Keeping your head in the game, right? Like hope, faith. The Hierophant is like becoming a mentor, a role model, right? Regardless of where you are, like in your like sixth line journey, you know, I mean, the first 30 years, right? You're 3-3. And then from 30 to like 50-ish, you are up on the roof being more observant. And that's where, you know, you kind of switch from a 3-3 to a 3-6. And then after 50, fully coming off of the roof. And if you have made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me while I got my words together. And before I forget, I'm trying to get better at these like self plugs, because my totally open heart center just is so uncomfortable with it. But I am trying to grow this beautiful channel and this beautiful community, and of course I can't do that without you. So I would love if you would like the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel. I promise not every reading is you know, like as messy as it was in the beginning. And leave a comment, even if it's just an emoji. I love emojis anyway. So any help with that is greatly appreciated. Definitely check out the link for the Joven Archive article, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.